What's up, everybody? TheEndBoss here, and today we're going to be discussing one of the major things that could actually bring Valorant down from its high perch up here, and that is the community. Now, many games are made or broken by their community, and Valorant's going to be no different, as there is such a heavy emphasis on team play and coordination that, well, I hope that they can fix their problems right now, because the community is just in a closed alpha state, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Other notable examples where the gaming community has really brought down an otherwise AAA title. I mean, just some of the most fun you can have is, of course, another Riot game itself, which is League of Legends. Now, League of Legends actually most recently came under a very significant amount of fire for their solo queue players in Challenger and above and whatnot, and what they've been facing. One of the big notable streamers and players, Voyboy, has actually released quite a long video discussing his woes with the solo queue and how it's actually been really driving him insane. And he's talked about this a long while back, and that if they don't combat these sort of toxic members of the community, it's going to bring their game down. So let's go ahead and jump into this footage here for you. Now, I was doing some ranked matches in Valorant the other night, and while most of the games were relatively smooth, I had some absolutely horrible experiences. One in particular was with a teammate who, well, blamed every single other person in the game for his shortcomings. If he'd get headshot from around the corner by a player who was just simply better than him, he would blame all of us for not taking his position, not going to hang out at the site that he wanted us to go to. So we'd rotate, we'd change, and he would just still continue to flame everybody. It was never his own fault. And that's a lot of the issue that these games face. It's never the individual's fault. They always look for somebody else to blame. Overwatch was a great example. Unfortunately, Overwatch, the game itself, Overwatch, is about an 8.5 to a 9 as far as a game is. It's a really incredible experience. Now, that's assuming the community plays the game as it is intended. Instead, you ended up with a game around a 4 or 4.5 because the community just drags it down. You've got so many throwers, so many players that just don't care about what they're doing, and just toxic overall systems that it really rewards bad behavior sometimes, you know? We're hoping that that's not going to be the case in Valorant, and we've actually seen some forward momentum from the Riot executive director for Valorant. As you can see here, this was one of their tweets and one of their posts. States as following: "I'll be super real here. Harassment and bullying in games is not a status quo I'm comfortable accepting. I replied to a colleague's tweet last month about my fears about solo queuing, a problem I've had for many, many years of multiplayer gaming." And just to confirm, I just want to let you guys know, she is a woman, and if you've played games and you've had a female on your team, there are some people that are just embarrassments to the human race. They're just terrible all around. It's like people just want to play games and have fun. Can they do that, please? And continues, "I'm not alone. We've learned to mute others who are harassing us, and we've learned to mute ourselves in order to keep the peace. And as a result, we have a competitive experience that can feel compromised. We often find ourselves at a disadvantage." Now, that's under such things as simple call-outs being so crucial to this. Knowing the location of your enemies is 80% of this. 80%. If you know where your opponents are, your entire gaming experience has changed. And having to mute voice chat, which is one of the most quick forms of communication outside of the pinging system that they have developed, it really puts your team at a detriment. In continuing, I worry that if we, Riot, don't make a larger commitment here, we'll end up following up with very little or not providing enough of the tools to, basically they're looking for ways so that you don't have to mute your teammates. They want to foster a good community. And, well, I'm hoping that they push for that, because there has just been absolute toxicity in many of the matches I've played over the last couple of days. One of them in particular, I want to show you guys this example. I had a team. Now, my in-game name is TheEndBoss TV, which does lead people to believe, yes, I am in fact a streamer, and I was broadcasting these games. I had several of my teammates questioning whether we were being stream sniped just because of the rotations and actual picks that the enemies were making were so incredibly out of this world, only to have these people pop in my chat after screaming obscenities in the chat, blurting out racist stuff just all the time, generally harassing me. They came into my channel and even admitted to it. He came into the channel and admitted to stream sniping, and then proceeded to call me bad at the game while cheating. And this is just one of the many examples I've experienced over my first night in Valorant Ranked. So I'm really hoping that at some point they cut a little bit more teeth on these. Previously, Riot had this system known as a tribunal. And I think that was the best system in play. It rewarded you with an in-game currency for making the right call. Let's say that you had chat logs of a player that was being absolutely toxic. You had the score logs. You had their overall play. And you could see if they were being a complete putz. And if you voted that, yes, this person was in fact being an ass, and most of the people also voted along on that section, you would receive an in-game currency reward as a result for your participation. And I honestly found that system to be one of the most effective at curtailing this kind of toxic behavior. So I'm really hopeful that Riot takes the same stance on this, because they did it. Unfortunately, they abolished the tribunal, but I got my fingers crossed. I think they have a great game here, but really the community is what's going to be what makes or breaks it. Again, it's a free game, so they got to have a lot more teeth on their banning process. Just simply throwing people out the door when they can make a new account and walk back in is not going to be enough. Either way, I'm really hopeful. Again, I want to see this succeed. I want this to be the next big thing, but it's up to Riot and it's in their hands. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, as we're going to be continuing to pump out more Valorant tips, tricks, and overall community interactions. So thank you guys again for watching. I'm the EndBoss, and I'll catch you on the battlefield.